Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the Startech dual port USB 3.1 card. I got a bunch of old Dell servers that are running USB 2.0 and it's really slow for backups. So what I'm trying to do is find something to speed up the backups, and going to USB 3.1 would fix that. So I need to find something that's compatible with the Dell servers, and not only that, but Windows Server 2008 R2 and Windows Server 2012. And this specific USB card actually supports those operating systems, as well as Windows Server 2016 and Windows 7 through 10. And here's what the item shipped in. It's your standard Startech box. They all look the same. Inside the box we have the USB card in bubble wrap, one page of instructions, and a low profile mounting bracket if you want to use it in a smaller desktop. And inside the bubble wrap bag we have an anti-static bag, and finally we have our USB card. The card looks nice and clean. It looks like it was designed properly. I'm going to flip this around in a few different angles so you get a good view of it. Here's the back part of the card. This is what will be facing outside of the server. You got Type A USB and Type C USB. Here's the top view side of the board. The SATA power is optional. You only need that if you're going to be powering 2.5 inch USB drives that don't have a separate power source. For 3.5 inch USB drives, they usually come with their own power source, so you don't actually need to connect this. And finally, the back view side of the board. And here's my test server. It's an old Dell T110. It's really dusty. Maybe next time I'll clean it before doing a video, but a little late for that now. The hardware install was pretty easy. All I had to do was pop the lid off the server and install the card in a free slot. I did have to use a SATA extension cable to connect the SATA power source because I will be using 2.5 inch drives. Again, it's optional if you're going to be using 3.5 USB drives with their own power source. At this point, I've reconnected the server back to my network and I've logged in. I'm checking the device manager and it did not detect the driver automatically. So I'm off to Startech's website, downloading the latest driver available. After I was finished downloading, I extracted the installer onto my desktop and ran the setup program, and it recognized the hardware, and I'm ready for testing now. For our testing, I will be using these two Western Digital drives. They're both 5400 RPM USB 3 interface, and this ADATA solid state drive with this USB 3 adapter. I will be using the Crystal Disk benchmarking tool and we'll do tests with using the USB 2 ports on the server and using the USB 3.1 port off the installed card. The benchmarking took some time, but the first row is when the drives are plugged into USB Type 2 ports. The second row is with the drives plugged into USB 3.1 port. So the numbers look really good with the SSD drive plugged into the USB 3.1 port. So I did one last test, and that's with the internal OS drive and comparing it to the SSD drive connected to the USB USB 3.1 port, and it turns out that the OS drive is actually now slower than the SSD drive. So this is good for backups because the source drive is actually the bottleneck now. So my backups will be much faster because of this. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me a like. If you like more of this stuff, hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching.